Looking to be scarily accurate with your advertising? Well, if you're looking to do that on LinkedIn, then that's great, because I'm about to cover LinkedIn's ad targeting options. So hey, I'm Yumna. Let's kick off this giant Wednesday. LinkedIn is a great place to advertise. It's a vast place, full of people from every stretch of life who either use the platform as a form of social media or as a fancy online CV. In Q4 of 2020, LinkedIn's advertising reach grew by an additional 25 million people, so it's a guarantee there's a potential audience in there for you. I'm not going to try and sell you the benefits of advertising with LinkedIn, because I'm going to assume if you're here, you've worked them out already. Instead, I want to cover off some of the targeting options on the platform. There are actually around 200 targeting characteristics available on the platform, and you're allowed to target a maximum of 100 of them for each campaign you run. If you're familiar with Facebook's advertising platforms, then it's not too tricky to transfer over your understanding. The key difference, however, is the level of accuracy you can get on LinkedIn, because, after all, it's a professional network. On a LinkedIn profile, there's no place for claiming your job title as mayor of your mum from Awesomeville, so you can get reliably granular with your targeting, unless that genuinely is your job title. So, to kick off the list of targeting options, we have interests and traits. So, this dataset contains, you guessed it, different interests and traits for prospects. Looking at things like the groups they're part of, the type of posts that they engage with and post about to gauge interest. And then looking at traits such as whether they're frequent travellers, job seekers, and so on. This is a great category to target if your objectives are that of engagement, but is considerably more limited than the same method on Facebook, because LinkedIn generally sees less non-professional engagement than other platforms. I mean, you're probably not following a Shrek meme account on LinkedIn, but if you are, trouble it is. But if your target audience for your recent job ad is job seekers, then you can be certain that you'll hit the nail on the head there with things like open to work as an option on personal profiles. Next up on the wheel, demographics and location. Again, like it says on the tin, this allows you to target people based on broad categories of age and gender, as well as their location. You are, however, limited on running ads that target gender and other characteristics if the ad relates to employment, housing, education, or credit. This is in a bid to prohibit discrimination. At LinkedIn, we prohibit any kind of discrimination on our platform. Within Campaign Manager, LinkedIn advertisers are required to certify if an ad relates to employment, housing, education, or credit. They will not use LinkedIn to discriminate based on gender or other protected characteristics. When a person sets up a profile on LinkedIn, there are options to put gender and age, and nowadays you can even list your preferred pronouns, which is awesome. But for those who haven't put in this information, LinkedIn ads may predict a user's age or gender based on other features on their profile, such as first name or pronouns used in recommendations. And similarly, for age, it can predict this based on when you graduated from school. Because of this, demographics can be a less accurate targeting method, and if someone hasn't updated their location, then the same story applies. But the accuracy levels you want might differ based on your campaign, so it's up to you how strongly you rely on that targeting type. Next up, experience. This method covers things like the roles a person has worked in, the number of years of experience in each role, the industries, member skills, and the seniority. Like I said, this is more likely going to be accurate on a LinkedIn profile compared to your Facebook. This targeting option means you can get really specific with who you're targeting and is a great way to hone in on the right audiences for what you're selling. You can go broad with job titles such as designer, or you can get a little bit more granular with something like manufacturing process designer. And another benefit of targeting based on experience is that you don't just have to focus on the present. You can filter by current or previous, which allows you to really target specific people. And next up, education. So, as you can probably guess, under the section you can target by the level of education a person has. But obviously, this does depend on how accurately someone filled in their profiles and whether they've been truthful. If you are looking to promote things like internships or apprenticeships, then you can look to target people fresh out of college or postgraduates. Education targeting allows you to look at the fields of study, so the area of study within that member's degree, and also allows you to look at schools, so the college, university, or other learning institution where a member completed their course. And last, but certainly not least, company. Here you can target audiences based on a variety of factors around a company. For example, You can look to reach first-degree connections of employees as your selected company, so long as it has over 500 employees. Or you can look at targeting based on the company industry, company size, company name, etc. You can even target companies based on their growth rate year on year, which is inferred data from employee growth or similar industries. And also, you could just look to target your own company followers, all of those following your company's page on LinkedIn, which might increase your chances of them seeing your content compared to organic. Company targeting is really great for getting in front of a really specific audience if you've got a message that would work for them all, such as offering discounts to NHS workers. So that was a look at the targeting options available for running ads on LinkedIn. These are how you get granular using data you've not had to collate yourself. However, there are options if you've got your own. For example, you could use matched audiences, which is an audience created based on shared interests with a specific audience. You upload a list of previous customers, covering the data LinkedIn specifies it needs for each user, and it will set about building this lookalike audience, a near perfect twin of your existing customer. Hey, what's up? You can also look to retarget people who have visited your site, or certain pages of it, someone who's viewed a video ad of yours before, someone who's engaged with your LinkedIn page, and more. So there really are hundreds of options available. You can also use the and or exclusion rules to get super pinpointed with your targeting and narrow your audience further. One thing that is tempting once you know all of the options is to use all of them, but this usually creates super specific audiences. Now, you'd think a hyper-specific audience would be better, but you'd be wrong when we're talking about B2B marketing. In B2C decision making, it's usually one person who decides, the person who has the money. If I want to buy a new pair of shoes, then I don't need to ask permission if I have the money, right? But with B2B buying, the company's money usually has to go through a number of checks before it goes out, an average of 6.8 people in fact. Why is that not a round number? This means that your ads to a hyper-targeted audience might be reaching the most enthusiastic of prospects, but that doesn't mean they're reaching everyone they need to. So keep your audiences broad enough to capture more of the buying circle of your target companies. That's all from me today. I wish you well on your journey into LinkedIn advertising. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. But otherwise, like and subscribe to our channel for more great digital themed videos every week. This has been Giant Wednesday. I've been Yumna, and you've been awesome. Catch you another time.